I like to look at social media kind of like a focus group with some of the ways that you can communicate and interact with your audience. So lots of good and again free purposes and benefits of using social media to promote your brand. So.
Awesome. Let's get to the reason you're here, which is building your brand. How to navigate the world of social media and self-promotion. I'm so excited for this because I am terrible at this. I have not posted on social media since the first of this year. So I need to learn how to navigate this world of social media. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Sam Toddy up to the stage to welcome our guest. Here you go, Sam.
Alrighty. Well, our guest tonight is my friend Callie Woods, and I got a little bio to read here real quick. Callie Woods is a social media maven with a knack for turning digital platforms into vibrant communities in the realm of higher education. Armed with a degree in communications from Missouri Southern State University, Callie mixes creative storytelling with strategic thinking to ensure every post, graphic, and campaign packs a punch. Whether it's engaging students, collaborating with faculty, or sparking conversations amongst community members, Callie believes social media isn't just about content, it's about connection. Thanks for coming.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm not gonna lie, I had ChatGPT help me write my bio, so it was cheesy, blame AI. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Well, thanks for coming out.
Absolutely.
Go ahead and, I guess I read a little bit about your background, but give us a little bit more detail.
Sure. So, yes, as you mentioned in the bio, I went to school at Missouri Southern State University, studied communications, did my 4 years there. Took me 2 years to figure out what I even wanted to do, and almost process of elimination led me to communications. And so graduated from there with a Bachelor of Science in Communication, science because I didn't want to take a foreign language. And so moved to Kansas City in 2018, went through the rigorous world of internships in the communication field, landed at Johnson County Community College, where I work there currently. Just celebrated 5 years. Go Cavaliers! So I am specifically the social media and content coordinator in the marketing and communications department there. A lot of times I say that and people respond with, "Oh, so you're a professor?" No, definitely not. I would be terrified in front of a room of college students these days. So yeah, basically I run JCCC's Facebook accounts, our X, formerly Twitter, LinkedIn, and our Instagram, and it's a great job. I work with some awesome people like Sam. So yeah, it's quite literally my dream job, and I've learned a lot going through it. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the plug for Johnson County Community College.
Now enrolling.
That's right. So I wanted to get into what are the benefits of people using social media to market themselves as opposed to traditional marketing?
Yeah, definitely. So it's no secret that social media is one of the widely, if not the most used marketing tool for low to no cost out there, which is always appreciated. I actually did a little research and we're back.
There we go.
It was probably the wind. We'll blame it on the weather. But I did a little Googling and found the number 5.2 billion people globally are using social media. That's almost 64% of the population, which was kind of eye-opening for me. So yeah, uses for social media, obviously one of the main purposes is to truly just build an audience, a community of like-minded people, kind of grow within a network around you sort of thing. Social media is obviously used for promotion. Let's be honest, who is not humbly bragging, right, every once in a while on their social media accounts. It's a great use for networking. Imagine if you never had to go to another networking or elbow rubbing event again, kind of have it there in the palm of your hand. And then social media is a great tool for feedback. sometimes unsolicited, right? Unwanted feedback.
Every once in a while, yeah.
But hey, all feedback is good feedback, the way I like to look at it. I like to look at social media kind of like a focus group with some of the ways that you can communicate and interact with your audience. So lots of good and again, free purposes and benefits of using social media to promote your brand.
So what kind of questions would you need to ask yourself when you're creating a social media marketing plan?
Yeah, definitely. Social media is not something that you can kind of just jump into without a vision or a plan or a purpose. I will say first and foremost, when kind of asking yourself what you need to do, I would just sit down like any other achievement that you're trying to make, set some goals for yourself. If there's any business-minded people out there, but I like to consider SMART goals, right? So I had to write down the acronym so I wouldn't forget. But SMART goals, so specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So kind of answer some of those questions in the realm of social media. Obviously, it is important to quickly identify who you would like your target audience to be, who are the type of people, communities that you want to be communicating and interacting with. What platforms are your target audience on? What kind of different channels are they using that you should focus on? Are there certain features on these platforms that would make sense with your abilities and content sort of thing in terms of Instagram stories? Or maybe you truly just need a Facebook group that you could create and kind of curate the audience that way sort of thing. So some other things to consider, a lot of times people get stuck on how often should I post? And quite literally that answer is as often as you can manage and is realistic and reasonable within all of the other duties and jobs, right, that you have going on. I like to tell people that I work with that consistency is more important than quantity in terms of social media, in my opinion at least. So kind of finding a pattern in terms of consistency that works for you and sticking with that and then growing, whenever it makes sense and when you can. So in terms of content, some things to consider and think about what messaging will resonate with your target audience. What are their demographics and their interests and their hobbies? What motivates them? What are they kind of looking for on social media? That also kind of leads into your tone and your voice. Would it make more sense to be more professional, kind of white paper, or casual with the, casual conversation, slang sort of words, in that sort of manner. So messages that you want to communicate, and then obviously what resources do you have readily available or are realistic to you in order to, achieve these goals. So time management, is it, do you need to consider a scheduling tool so you can kind of, do I even say this?
Sure.
Like, am I pressing a button?
Fair enough.
Okay, testing, I'm back. So yeah, again, what resources are readily available to you? Some free, some paid, obviously. Scheduling management tools, graphic design tools for some, nice looking visuals, those sort of things to consider before just kind of diving in head first. A lot of the people I work with at the college, they come to me with the great plan of, students are on social media, we need to be on these platforms, we got to open this account and do this and this. And oftentimes I find that they are just trying to check a box, just to check a box, to put, a platform in their email signature, but, there's not a lot of strategy or kind of goals behind it. So lots of things to consider.
Yeah, is there, when you're considering what social media to run, is it better to do multiple at the same time, or should you focus on one or two?
Sure.
Or also,
Great question.
are there different posts for each one? Because I see a lot of people when they're posting on the social media. I saw the exact same thing on Instagram, Snapchat, and
Right.
Facebook.
In
where it
terms
just looks like a
of best
spreadsheet.
practices, I would put that maybe in the what not to do list. And again, when people are coming to me kind of new in the social media world, my advice would be start small, start with one platform, start with two, and really kind of wrap your hands around what it looks like to be consistently posting on there. It also depends on what you plan for some of your messaging and your content to be. Obviously, film folks here are going to have a lot of video content. That makes sense to go on Instagram, right? And Instagram Reels. You could toss TikTok in there, but I stay away from that platform. Aside from when I'm doom scrolling before bed, But so yeah, it kind of just depends. You just really need to figure out what your niche is, but don't overextend yourself. Truly, I feel like that is kind of one of the biggest issues that people have. Again, they're just trying to check a box to cover all the basics, but I like to kind of hone in on one platform.
Fair enough. So, what makes social media content successful?
Yeah, so I like to go easy on myself in terms of gauging success, right? So to me, a successful social media post is something that's engaging, it's entertaining, it's thought-provoking, it's memorable, and it is attention-grabbing. I pulled up another stat that I found was interesting. The average attention span of a human was, the couple different headlines that I read when I Googled was 2 to 8 seconds, depending on your source. My attention span was not long enough to read further into the research.
There you go.
Right?
So.
Yes, I am a human, clearly. And so, yeah, again, you gotta have to really kind of stand out with eye-catching visuals, high-quality content, high-quality visuals, things that kind of set yourself apart, stand out as people are, again, going 100 miles an hour scrolling with their thumbs, so.
Could you explain what an SEO is and why that's important in social media?
Yeah, absolutely. So SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and is broadly defined, usually described with websites, and it is the act or process of improving your website, usually with keywords or key phrases, so that it is more visible and highly discoverable on the search engines, so your Google, your Bing, Yahoo, that sort of thing, to drive traffic to your website organically, right? So free traffic. Again, it's really centered around keywords specifically. That's at least my knowledge of SEO, which is not very extensive because there are people who do SEO as their full-time job, obviously. So again, whenever I think about if I'm Googling somebody or a business, a lot of times their social media profiles come up first in the Google search. And so that kind of has to do, SEO on social media means a well-crafted, kind of thought-out bio or summary or description on whatever platform you're on. Again, plug in all the keywords that you can. And also kind of always having keywords and SEO in the back of your mind when you're writing your post and your captions. I can't stress plugging keywords enough. Like at Johnson County, for example, we say that half the time we are writing to feed the bots. So, the internet crawling looking for these keywords. So half the time you're writing to serve your actual audience who are humans, half the time you have to figure in the robots too. So like a sentence like JCCC is cheap and has great resources, I would take that and expand it a little bit to something like Johnson County Community College in Overland Park, Kansas offers affordable tuition rates and student resources like free tutoring. So just, again, kind of plugging in as much, as many industry words, kind of keywords and phrases as you can throughout your social media.
is really just going to increase discoverability, visibility, on those platforms and when people are searching.
Fair enough. Well, what kind of mistakes do you see people make when they're doing their social media posts or running their marketing themselves?
Sure.
Or even big companies, because big companies make a lot of these
You're
same
not
mistakes.
wrong. How much time do you have? No, so quite literally, as I was kind of thinking this through a little bit, my first thought is honestly just straight up errors in the writing, in the copy. There are misspelled words or broken links or wrong dates. And to me, as even a consumer of obviously social media, and even my job has kind of turned me into a picky proofreader maybe, and I kind of find it entertaining discovering kind of typos and stuff, and I realize that it happens, but I can't stress enough any kind of content and information that you're putting out there, don't be the only person reading it before you hit send or before you press send or post. I can't encourage proofreading enough. It's shocking the amount of mistakes that get sent out there and then aren't caught. I like to look at my content at work as answering questions before somebody has the time to ask them. So kind of putting in as much information in the post, and if it doesn't fit or work in the post, what can you kind of link off to follow up? So again, just well-crafted posts. I feel like a lot of times some companies and businesses and people just don't do that very well. So a couple other mistakes that stand out to me. Again, a lot of inconsistency and inconsistent posting. I feel like we've all probably discovered an account somewhere that clearly has sat dormant for a while. A few months, sure, as you're working through, priorities and stuff, but nobody wants to see a dead account that's been up for a year or two. I just feel like it is a quick way to kind of decrease, loyalty. You're going to lose followers, that sort of thing. Consistent posting, again, stresses people out a lot. So I truly tell them, find what works for you. It doesn't have to be, posting once a day. As long as it's consistent, high quality stuff, people are going to engage with it. So a few other kind of mistakes that I commonly see are people that have great intentions, again, and I know work hard on this, and social media is not easy. It's not an overnight process. Truly, and growth is, not usually a quick thing unless you just happen to be one of the lucky ones that goes viral, which I feel like in this room is definitely possible. But I feel like another common mistake are people not truly grasping or utilizing the platforms for what they're made for. Like if I see another Instagram post with a super long URL to a website in the caption that you can't copy, you can't click it, it's basically useless space and almost looks like spam, I'm gonna, as the kids say, crash out. So yeah, in that case, make your Instagram post, but use the Instagram Stories feature and their link button, feature where you can pop the URL in and it's a clickable button, that sort of thing. So it's just truly understanding, the platforms that work for your brand, your messaging, just kind of having an understanding of what works for you.
Fair enough. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
A lot of us here, although we usually work under like a single name when we're like putting out our films and stuff, like a production company or something. But sometimes, I've done this a few times where I've just made pages on social media for specific projects. Is it better to do that for individual projects to get people to see it? Or is it better to keep it all in one place? Like for example, if I'm doing something under Toddy Brothers Productions, should I be posting everything on the Toddy Brothers Productions and not making a separate post for like a short film like Nobody Lives Forever has its own social media?
I mean, I feel like if you think about it, a lot of times social media accounts are designed to kind of have a human interaction or kind of human face ownership behind them. So I truly would recommend keeping everything in one centralized account. The great thing about obviously Facebook and a lot of these other platforms is you can like create events to promote, you know, an upcoming trailer or showing that you might have going on, kind of that sort of thing. And then you can create social media campaigns kind of around the same topic or event, spread out your posts as, you know, a teaser beforehand, a behind the scenes update. It's kind of all about different ways to spin your content, just so you're not having to spread it out on different platforms, but it's all kind of making sense on one feed. So you're gonna kind of tease something, do a behind the scenes view, do a day in the life, and then do an after event recap post or something. But I definitely would recommend, again, not spreading yourself too thin, you know, on too many accounts and having to even manage too many logins or usernames and that sort of thing. So make it easy on yourself.
Fair enough, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop doing the other thing. So all of these are all things that we as filmmakers are able to do ourselves. What's the benefit of somebody else just doing it for us and hiring like a social media person?
Sure.
Because that sounds like a lot.
Absolutely. I mean, again, there are people who quite literally make a living off of this, doing social media. So, I mean, number one, there is beauty in being able to free up your time a little bit, being able to work alongside another expert that is truly well-versed in social media. There's even another aspect of social media that we won't even have time to get into tonight, but that is the advertising side and the paid promotion. So that's truly where you could tap into an expert. If you have just a little small budget, a little goes a long way on social media, and you could, you know, find somebody to help really, you know, propel that campaign and make that successful. So allows you to focus on your, you know, other areas and other important projects that are going on. So, and I feel like we could all maybe think of a neighbor kid, or I know a great graphic design program and internship program down the street with, you know, some students that are probably desperate for some nice kind of foot in the door experience, internship kind of side of things. So.
Oh, where's that?
12345 College Boulevard. I know, yeah, it couldn't be more specific. So.
But it is great having students who are wanting to get into it, because usually they're willing to work for a discount or just for the experience. And we've all eaten experience before. It tastes like nothing, but you do it until you're able to get up and get paid for the kind of thing. So it might be worth just partnering with someone, so then you're able to, as you get further along in your filmmaking journey, are able to bring some of these people along with you, and either they become your partners where they start to get paid with you, or you guys can start recommending each other for jobs. I know I've got a couple of jobs, the freelance stuff, off of working with different people on social media, and then somebody else would be like, hey, I need a video guy for something. They'll be like, oh, well, this is mine. And they just throw it over. So, networking.
Yeah, networking.
Yeah.
Keyword for tonight.
Exactly. We actually do have a little bit of time. Could we get into the paid promotion a little bit?
Sure. Yes. So again, I feel like this is like 5% of my job, and I know 5% of the paid advertisement world. But truly, a little bit of money goes a long way on social media. Even on Facebook, a quick, simple thing. Pop a regular post up, you know, whether you're promoting an event or a big project you've got coming up. You could quite literally, I think the button is right underneath the post, and it says boost this post. you could pop $50, behind that. It'll, bring up a screen where you can plug in keywords back to that, favorite word. So you can plug in demographics, kind of the audience, the people that you're trying to reach, the region that you're trying to reach. A little bit of money goes a long ways. $50 would get thousands of eyeballs or, viewers, engagement, impressions on one post. So that's, I would recommend just kind of experimenting, see what works if you have a little bit of extra budget. So.
Because I know what I usually do when I'm starting to promote a project is like a month before I'm about to put something out, I start posting like our behind the scenes stuff and pictures. And then like a week before it's out, that's when I throw money at it to try to get everybody actually click on the YouTube link when I'm sending it out kind of
absolutely. Thing. And you can kind of tweak your caption to, evoke emotion of like last chance or ticket selling fast or, don't miss this opportunity to really kind of push the urgency. You can obviously even do that on an organic post and not, putting money behind it. But it's all about kind of your messaging, your audience, and if you have a little extra money to spend. So
fair enough. A little goes a long way, it sounds like.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for coming out and doing this. I know I learned a lot. I really appreciate this. Could everyone give Callie a round of applause, please?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is
Happy
awesome.
to chat more. Find me on LinkedIn if you want. I don't know. But yeah, thank you for having me and listening.
There we go. Thanks a lot.